Hello, I'm Barry Kuppermann, Director of the Gavin Herbert Eye Institute and Chair of the Department of Ophthalmology and Visual Sciences at the University of California, Irvine. I also serve as the Clinical Co-Director of the Center for Translational Vision Research. By way of background, I'm an MD, PhD, retina specialist. I take care of a lot of patients and do surgery on patients with retinal diseases. We've also had an active lab that I've shared for many years with the late Chris Kenny, who sadly passed away in late 2023, where we did a lot of cell culture research on retinal diseases using cytoplasmic hybrids to model retinal cell behavior, looking in particular at the mitochondrial genetics that drive neovascular and dry age-related macular degeneration. So I've had an active career both in the clinic and in the laboratory, but over the last 8 years, I've taken on the role of being the chair of the Department of Ophthalmology, and we've now recently renamed it to add and Visual Sciences. That's been a recent change in the last few months. When I became chair 8 years ago in 2017, upon the sad passing of Roger Steinert, the former chair, I had a lot of goals in mind. Roger had done an amazing job of building the Eye Institute. The building behind me was built in 2013 under his leadership, and we had grown our reputation and footprint clinically. So my first goal was to continue the growth, the clinical growth of the department, to make sure that we continued to honor that history and expand even further our footprint and reputation clinically. What I felt was lacking, and again, to a certain extent, manifesting my own PhD. I do have a PhD in neuroscience from Caltech. I felt that we had a good but not great research unit, many good researchers, but I felt there was an opportunity to expand the research unit. And I found a wonderful partner in Dean Michael Stamos, who's a colorectal surgeon, but has become the best friend to researchers that, as far as I can tell, any dean in the history of UCI has ever had. He agreed to partner with me, and we pursued a number of recruitments from abroad or from outside of UCI, starting with the recruitment of Chris Palczewski and his group from the Case Western. Chris Palczewski included in the group Tim Kern, who recently retired, and Philip Kaiser, who continues to thrive. And as part of that cluster hire, we also recruited Dorota Skaronska-Krawczyk from UC San Diego and Vladimir Kefalov from Washington University in St. Louis. And that was the first step, this core of 5 faculty, remarkable faculty that have continued to thrive and grow at UC Irvine. And the dean saw that the return on investment, so to speak, that he saw that we had raised our reputation, grants were coming in, people were productive, and he was kind enough to award more tenure track positions to the department for us to recruit more scientists. And so we've continued to recruit and grow. A critical factor in the development of and expansion of our research unit was the creation of the Center for Translational Vision Research. It was the vision of Chris Palczewski, and which I shared with him. And we really wanted to have not only a wonderful basic science research unit, but one that would focus on translational achievements so that we could bring cures to patients from the work in the laboratory. We're also guided and supported by Vice Chancellor of Research Pramod Karganikar, who is another huge ally in helping us set up the Center for Translational Vision Research as an organized research unit, so-called ORU, which is a significant campus designation, and we achieved that about a year ago in July of 2024. But with Chris Palczewski's vision, shared by me, we've created the Center for Translation Vision Research and have continued to thrive and grow in that. Again, Dean Stamos and Vice Chancellor Steve Goldstein have been very supportive, and we are now in the process of moving into the top floor of the Falling Leaf Foundation Medical Research Innovation Building, thanks to their kindness, 30,000 square feet of lab space that will be able to bring the researchers of the CTVR in under one roof and be able to foster and encourage further collaboration. Despite the political storm clouds, the future looks very bright for, honestly, our university, our School of Medicine, and our department. We're continuing to thrive and grow. We are hiring, we're expanding our clinical footprint. We're opening up our first satellite. We're hiring lots of clinical faculty, but we're also continue to expand our research faculty. I do want to mention before closing that we've also developed a program in precision genome editing, which is rather fascinating. This is again the idea of Chris Palczewski, supported by me and Dean Stamos. This is not an ophthalmology-based genome editing unit. This is meant to be agnostic to disease type. Yes, it's housed in the Department of Ophthalmology and will have some interest in vision, but it's really for the entire School of Medicine to create this program in precision genome editing that will be part of the Falling Leaf Foundation group in the CTVR on the top floor of the building. The future looks extraordinary here in our Department of Ophthalmology and Visual Sciences. Thank you.